You must have heard of crop circles before? A crop circle, crop formation, or corn circle. The term was first coined in the early 1980s by Colin Andrews. That is what happened in the field. After only one night suddenly appeared beautiful, complicated, unusual, and bizarre shapes. Many people believe that crop circles is created by aliens or caused by the energy of an extraterrestrial civilization. In 2008 an Italian inventor, Mr. Umberto Baudo stated, "I believe these circles are the highest expression of a message. Through this image, we are really transparent many things that words are difficult to describe. Especially if we have a real linguistic divide between them and the human race." Today let's solve the mystery behind crop circles. Hello guys. Up to now, over 50 countries around the world have detected more than 10,000 crop circle. But a third of them appeared in the UK. The remaining majority appeared in the US, Canada and countries in Europe. These crop circles, which are small, have a diameter of several meters, and a large crop circle has a diameter up to over 300 meters. These mysterious circles, it does not necessarily appear in the wheat field, but may appear in other types of fields. For example, canola fields, cornfields, etc. Currently, researchers have discovered, crop circle has a rule: it often appears next to ancient relics. Especially in the fields near the Stonehenge megaliths in England, many crop circle appeared. When did the crop circles appear? Until now it has not been determined exactly. Recorded as early as 1678, a painting appeared in England, called the Mowing Devil. It looks like a demon harvesting in a field. The demon has a tail and horns on its head. It is possible that this is the first crop circle discovered. In modern times, crop circle was known as early as 1966 in Queensland, Australia. A farmer, working in the field, suddenly heard a sound around him. As he raised his head, he suddenly saw a ball of light. Immediately after that, this ball of light soared soaring. He went to the lower boundary of the ball of light to check it out, and found a circular space on the ground. The crops on this circle have been flattened. At that time, the focus of the news was not this circle, but that ball of light. That circular space was most likely the crop circle in the beginning. Since then, regions in the UK frequently appeared the crop circles. Due to the large number of newsletters distributed, it has attracted many scholars. And UFO researchers have come to investigate. All the people who have been observed crop circles divided into three perspectives. The first is that it is likely to be man-made. Another point of view is that it is created by aliens and UFOs. There is another viewpoint that it is formed from nature. The theory that is formed from nature does not seem likely. And if it is made by humans, then who did it and for what purpose? They have been created for 20 years, so much effort, without anyone standing up to admit this. That was too weird, right? For what purpose did they do it? An incident in 1991. This incident until 1991 suddenly had a very big change. On September 9, 1991 there were two old retired men in England saying, "Starting in 1976 all the crop circles around the world are made up of the two of us." These two men, one named Doug Bauer, the other named Dave Chorley. And then these two explained, how do they create the crop circles? They used a wooden stick to tie a rope on it. Then the hand held the rope, the foot stepped on the wooden stick, and then used the foot force on the wheat plants. Little by little, then round by round, so they can step on the wheat plants to create the crop circle. In order to prove their true words, these two men even created a crop circle, right in front of the media. However, the crop circle that these two men created looks very rough. The circle is not round and the straight line is also not straight. Even though the crop circle they make is actually not the same as the real crop circle. But it also creates quite a charm. Many media outlets reported this incident. But not long after that, this incident has caused people to question. First, these two men say that since 1976 all the crop circles around the world are made by the two of them. This is impossible. The most obvious reason is, these two men have not basically left the UK many times. And the crop circles some appear in the US, some appear in Canada or in Australia, etc. But the two of them have never been to those places. Furthermore, for such a large creation, in an unfamiliar place, two old men in the middle of the night trampled on someone else's fields for? This is not at all possible. Another question is, there are a lot of crop circles appearing on a too large scale right now. Maybe up to a few hundred meters. Relying on the two of them to get it done, and in just one night, it was impossible. So why should the two of them lie, and for them there is no reputation or any benefit in doing so. So there are a lot of people who are skeptical that these two are arranged by the British government, and the purpose is to conceal the truth about the crop circles. And this also shows that, the British government has also begun to doubt, this is created by aliens. But they cannot let the public pay too much attention to this incident. The government then arranged for the two men to stand up to confess that these crop circles were created by them. So why are even Australia and the US admitting this? It is not difficult to understand, because if you do not admit it, it also means that the other things are created by aliens. There is no other explanation. Because the other options are not feasible. But in fact, nowadays, this has created certain effects. Because ever since the news was broadcast, there was a concept in people's hearts gradually produced, that the crop circle was likely made by humans. In fact, this is, in a sense, the kind of Mandela effect. Though it was clear at the time. What these two men said was not true. But gradually there will be a feeling, vaguely remembering that this is someone who created it. It is to create such a false memory. Real and fake crop circle. There are many media channels and scholars. They have conducted a number of investigations to verify whether this incident is artificial or not. They did an experiment. The first is to invite some gardening experts. They find a field and come up with patterns of different sizes. Each group will create the crop circle just like the pattern, to see if these people can do it or not. Of course, there must be certain conditions in order to form crop circles. Up to this point, all the crop circles found were formed overnight. In other words, not seeing it during the day, when we woke up the next morning suddenly saw crop circle appear. Through many experiments, they discovered that, if done at night, basically impossible. So was working in the night. The field is like a dark land. Under such conditions, for a period of 10 hours. Will we be able to accomplish that? First, to do this on the ground is inherently very difficult. Required to observe from the air before performing. If not, when you do it on the ground, you will not know what shape you are doing, and how far you have done it. Even if you use a drone, fly up to see it and do it, it won't work. Because it was dark, nothing could be seen. Then, they tried to do it during the daytime. It is possible to do it, but it must be not too wide, the size is less than 30 meters. And these are relatively simple shapes. It can be artificially created. Then through comparison between the man-made crop circle and the real crop circle, was discovered. The difference is obvious in nature. As for the human-made crop circle, whether it's rice or flowers in a field, if you want it to fold down, they can step on it with a wooden stick. Or use the wooden plank, apply strong pressure on it, the trunk will break, it will bend down. But this leads to a problem. If they do not stop stomping, the things on the branches, such as flowers, leaves, fruits, and wheat seeds, will fall all over the ground. What about the real crop circle? This is the real crop circle. Its flowers are gently, quietly lying on the ground. Not a single petal falls off. The human crop circle is done like this. All were broken and fell. The trunk in the real crop circle never broke. It feels like lying down on its own. And it's really unbelievable, when they brought the wheat plants in this circle to study. See why it lay down so steadily? They found that a very long wheat plant on it had about 4 to 5 nodes. The top node has been lengthened. And the nodes below have been changed. There appeared a few small holes in those nodes. It felt like something inside these nodes had exploded. That place of the wheat plant suddenly empty. So it becomes soft. Then the wheat plant lay down. Not using strong force to bend it. On the outside of it there isn't any damage. Suppose someone wants to do it by hand to do so, it takes a lot of effort. Furthermore, the wheat plants in the crop circle were stepped on by humans. They all died. And the wheat plants in the real crop circle are still growing. Lie down and grow. Furthermore, it grows even better than the wheat plants on the outside of the circle. So it can be concluded, this is not due to external forces, some kind of strong physical effect, to cause the trunk to fold or fall. After a lot of biologists and physicists conducted detailed research on this phenomenon, they deduced that there was an electromagnetic force that affected the wheat plant. Make it explode in microscopic ranges inside the wheat plant. Of course, with science and technology we are inherently unable to do it. The crop circle appears, then what will it be like? There are some people who come to watch, they observe and then leave. The owners of these fields wait until the day of harvest, will clear the area with that crop circle. But the strange thing is, until the following year, when planting a new crop, on the land that once appeared the field circle still appeared the same shape as the crop circle before. Furthermore, this phenomenon usually repeats within 3 years. At first people thought, that soil has been affected by something. But though they have exchanged other soil to replace, it is still the same. Also, when checking in some places where real crop circle appears, radiation is detected. So from a scientific perspective, it can be said that, non-artificial, and, unnatural. But if we say, non-artificial, and, unnatural, using science will be very difficult to explain. From the beginning until now, we have made a lot of theories and speculations. So, how to know, how is crop circles finally formed? Up to now, more than 70 people have said that they have seen it with their own eyes how the crop circle is formed. Most of them describe verbally that I see like this, I see like that. So can anyone record how the crop circle is formed? Yes. This video was recorded in 1991. There is a photographer who specializes in taking crop circles. While taking pictures, he suddenly noticed something flying out of the air right next to him. A glowing thing was flying. The farther it flies, it flew closer to a truck by the nearby farmland, and then gradually disappeared. Please pay attention, there is a small bright spot just like the photographer earlier described. See how it came to be. And the crop circle is formed in the blink of an eye. Surprisingly, it was exactly like what anyone who witnessed it was told. And more than 70 people who have seen them tell exactly the same thing. Some people saw the ball of light. The rest are all heard a sound. After hearing this sound, after only 3 to 5 seconds they will see the crop circle appear in the field. It was basically not what we thought it would take 10 hours a night to complete. Only after a few sounds voo-voo as a tit-tit heard like the sound of an electric shock. And the wheat plants naturally fell. Then form the crop circle. Crop circle's message. In 1991, supernatural phenomena expert Eric Beckjord suddenly came up with an idea one day. Create a line of text on the field with the message, "Talk to us." He hopes to receive a response from the aliens. Unexpectedly, a few days later, the answer was actually received. A message written in ancient Latin appeared in the field. Through decoding results during 10 years of scientists, they got a shocking message. "Hello, I'm Aya, you can call me Enki and Pata too. I represent a whole new humanity filled with love and wisdom. I don't like artificial and false things. Currently, I still cannot appear." August 19, 2001, at the Chbolton, Hampshire Observatory, UK. In a nearby field appeared an image that made one so amazed. A complex and giant human face figure. After applying this crop circle image to be blurred, the image was turned into a 3-dimensional face. So what does this picture represent in the end? No one knows the real answer. Can only guess that maybe this is the face of the person who made the hologram. While people are still gossiping about this strange phenomenon, just 3 days later, right next to the crop circle has a human face shape, appeared another crop circle. This crop circle has a rectangle. Looks very familiar, seems to have seen it somewhere. It turned out that more than 47 years ago, in 1974, scientists had brought information related to people on Earth, converted into binary codes. Through the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico, the United States, launched into a distant space, to a cluster of stars with a much longer lifespan than the Milky Way. The globular cluster M13, the Hercules cluster. In the hope that one day alien intellectual beings will receive it. That is the famous interstellar radio letter. Arecibo message. The picture above is a compiled chart of this binary code. It covers basic human information. Now we go back to observe the image of the crop circle mentioned above. Is it very similar to the image of the message the scientists sent out? Could this be the answer of aliens after 30 years? Scientists say that this picture is the reply message of the aliens. Let's compare these two signal charts. It can be seen that the signal diagram is said to be the alien life's answer. The first row is the encoding of the 10 numbers from 1 to 10. Other places have changes. 1. They changed a chemical element into silicon. 2. Change the length and distribution of DNA. No longer a double helix. 3. The number of nucleotides has changed. 4. Their population has increased to 12.7 billion, compared to human message. 5. Transformed into ET image, alien creature. Lower height, only 1008 centimeters. Which is roughly 397 inch. 6. They live on planets 4, 5 and 6 in their solar system. There are 3 planets distributed around planet 6. 7. The capacity of the telescope is larger, looks like paper-cut flowers. Talking about the telescope looks like paper-cut flower makes us think of one thing. In August 2000, it was a full year before the crop circle with this answer appeared. At the same place, another crop circle has appeared. If you bring this crop circle image, draw it as a pixel image. Then crop circle is clearly the alien telescope in the message in the field. So it is very obvious that these figures are of alien beings. They are transmitting information to humans on Earth. And also clearly tells humans. Alien intelligence really does exist. Warning from crop circle. When the crop circle event containing the bizarre code wasn't over, exactly 1 year later, it seemed to be the same day. In August 2002, at Crab Wood, Winchester, England, appeared a very strange crop circle, which was the face of an alien. Besides the right side of this alien, there are also 3 small points like the constellation Orion. And an image is like a CD. It seems to contain some code. With the support of digital programming expert Paul Vigay, he decoded one of the codes inside it. Finally, the expert received a warning message in English. Beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. Much pain, but still time. Believe there is good out there. We oppose deception. Conduit closing. 0x07. The binary code of 0x07 at the end of the message would produce a bell sound similar to that of an old typewriter, bell sound. Example, ding. Only one short message like that, but the message is too concise to make people surprised. Let's take a look at another message. On June 23, 2015, in Turin, Italy, the crop circle appeared in Latin text. The first word is Tomeo. The second word is ET, now known as alien. The third word is Ferentes. This resembles a passage written by the poet Virgil in Rome around 25 BC, namely, Tomeo denaus et dona Ferentes. At that time it meant, beware of Greeks bearing gifts, in reference to the gift of a Trojan horse by Greeks to the Trojans, which they used to invade their city. As far as the information above can mean, beware of ET bearing gifts. So what is this so-called false gifts? Someone knowledgeable revealed that, in fact, the ultimate goal of the aliens is to want to possess the human body. Because the structure of the human body is an incredibly marvelous masterpiece. Created by God, based on the archetype of the gods in the universe. It is a living being that can cultivate to a higher realm. This is a long-time dream of alien beings. First, aliens lead humans to use computer technology. Then gradually transplant into human body alien material. Something that the human eye cannot see. In the end, they can completely control or replace the human. And computer technology and the ultimate scientificism are the so-called false gifts. And also the most dangerous drama. In the famous work, Communion, by Whitley Strieber, there are also explanations on this issue. Communion. A True Story is a book by American ufologist and horror author Whitley Strieber that was first published in February 1987. The book is based on the experiences of Whitley Strieber, who experiences lost time and terrifying flashbacks, which hypnosis undertaken by Bud Hopkins later links to an alleged encounter with aliens. Communion was a non-fiction bestseller for 6 months in 1987. The book was later made into a film directed by Philippe Mora. Getting back to the point, good and bad aliens may both be hiding something from humanity. The bad aliens fear that, if humans know their true plot, humans will fight back against them. And good aliens do not want to interfere with humans, want humanity to develop according to its inherent trajectory. Whatever it is, both crop circle are warning humans to be careful of alien beings. Beware of what seems so good, but behind it is the most dangerous drama. The Martian boy once said that, a lot of weird crop circles are made by us. Some people with a high IQ will decipher them. This materialistic civilization of mankind seems to be the most developed ever. But people ignore spiritual civilization. If it continues like this human civilization will be destroyed. This Martian boy is a man with a past life who lived on Mars. During that time, he once piloted a spacecraft to visit the Earth and have contact with ancient Egyptians. According to the boy said, That proves that souls do exist, and that they are everywhere in the universe. The 3D human face crop circle we talked about above probably belongs to good aliens. Are these well-meaning people, then, or extraterrestrials like the little Mars boy once said? Other researches. The scientist, who holds a PhD in chemistry from Caltech, the California Institute of Technology, and worked for CSIRO as a molecular biologist, has been researching crop circles and aliens for 20 years. Dr. Horace Drew said the circles appeared to be created by an unknown energy that heats the crops up. It's like microwave energy but is something beyond Earth's science, he said. This has led to at least one major breakthrough: the discovery of a more advanced binary code than our computers currently use. Dr. Drew claimed that aliens or human time travelers have been leaving the crop circles on Earth as messages to us or themselves. Dr. Drew said he was one of a handful of scientists around the world who had worked to successfully decode some of the messages in crop circles. According to him, some crop circles provide general descriptions of the future. Other crop circles show schematic images of the future for astronomical or human events, he said. However, until now the cause of many of the circles is unknown despite various natural and unorthodox explanations having been put forward. But according to Dr. Drew, a number are legitimate and contain puzzles that can be decoded and linked to time travel and alien life. For the past 20 years I have been studying UFOs or crop circles. Just as other mainstream scientists study conventional subjects, Dr. Drew told guests at the March UFO and Paranormal Research Society of Australia UFO PRSA seminar in Sydney. Let's take a look at some other weird circles. This 2008 crop circle, after decoding it, turned out to be a picture of the pie. Aliens also understand Taiji, Bagua diagram, and even a swastika. Solar system. Through expert calculations, the positions of the planets completely coincided with December 21, 2012. Germany, Poland, Switzerland, France, Russia, the Middle East, England, etc. The video ends here. According to you, these circles are made by whom, and for what purpose? Please leave your comments and share your opinion. Hello and see you in the next videos.